Hello, everyone. This is Barbara Iris Sue, Parental World Knowledge. I just want to welcome everyone. I am going to be designing some more bracelets, and I have some interesting things to put on the bracelets today. And I was finishing one that I just started yesterday. I have a beautiful antique button, and it's really lovely it has brass on it, and it's on a black stretchy band. So what you need, if you don't have it, material that is elastic and stretches. This is really the best to make the bracelets. This way, if you're giving it as a gift to somebody, it always fits. You don't have to worry, this can expand, for their wrist size. So it would fit most people. And they're very comfortable, and you have to get one that is color fast. And this is, definitely color fast. And another thing, you need to have thread that's going to, pretty much match that as best you can. Get a good brand of thread. I generally would get 100% spun polyester, and it should be, also color fast and a good strength. This is pretty strong. So I don't have it, having a problem, because I've had, this bracelet for 3 years and has not broken. So what I would do is also have a good size needle, because you're sewing a little bit thicker material. So you need to have, if you haven't watched my shows, I just want to show you again the needle size. Pretty big one for your charms. Like, hopefully you have, antique charms from either broken jewelry or jewelry you just want to redesign. And it could be even buttons that are antique. Well, my camera goes back on. I love this one. Look at this, a great wood one. This would be great for 4th of July. You have a nice, fun bracelet. I'm going to use red, white, and blue with it. I have a band that's blue, navy, and then I have a piece of white linen. So I really am going to make a nice bracelet there. Use your imagination, have fun, the colors you like, and whatever you have saved. I mean, I hope you did save some things. If not, ask some people, if they have any broken jewelry, and just go from there with what I'm telling you what you need. And you need some antique pieces. It doesn't have to be gold, just has to be, an antique, an old piece, because it just looks so. I just love making these, and they just look so lovely. Okay, so now when you do this, I just want to go over, you always sew on the nubby side to make the bracelet. So you would be sewing on this particular side, and then you'd be starting from the end and doing a chain stitch. So you just go right through the first stitch, and then the next stitch you go through the loop. Right now I'm going to, because I started this yesterday, I'm going to finish. And with the button, I have 4 holes on this one. So you're just going to have to go, to the first 2 that are in a row, and then go to the next 2. And what I would suggest is to always start, put your needle to the back, the bad side, you know, where the seam was, you have to put it from there into the good side. So that's what I started yesterday. I'm just going to go finish. Boy, it's a lovely warm day. This has gotten from cold to so warm in our West Orange area. I hope people come to our studio right here in West Orange, New Jersey. And our number is 973-736-1637. You're always welcome to our live taping, and we'll instruct you art and some other things. And we can even interview if you want to be interviewed for a job position. And if you're a mother and you want to talk about motherhood, that would be wonderful too. Some tips that you have, that would be great. Motherhood is a full-time job too. Now with this button, you keep doing it just like any other antique if you put on until you feel it's so snug. When you see it's so snug putting the needle in and you can't move it out easily, then you know you're done. So then you would knot it, but it's still not done yet because I just started this. So I just wanted to let you know. And always knot it a couple of times after you're ready to cut the string. You have to make sure you put a few strands of the thread from behind on your needle and then knot it twice. Always do that, and then it will stay. It won't slip out. So it lasted 3 years already, so that's very good. I bought bracelets that in the store were glued on and they just fell right off. They didn't even you need to buy it from a good place. It takes the care to put it on for you. And we're selling Shop for a Cause tickets, and you can get some of these great bracelets that we made. And it's August 29th, any Macy's store. Only $5 donation. You get the free bracelet. You get a free art and poetry lesson from artist Barbara L. Fine Art Studio. And, we're providing the art lessons right now. And in addition, you're going to be getting eligibility for an oil painting that is original. I painted it. It's called Good Life. It's on art.com, the highest juried on the internet. And hopefully you'll be that one lucky person. And you have eligibility of $500 Macy gift card. So that is terrific. All for $5, and it's tax deductible because we're a 501(c) classified organization for tax purposes, and we donate to Epilepsy Foundation. And this is also 501(c) classified for tax purposes. So it's a win situation, tax deductible too. And you'll have a lovely day shopping. They have great events going on at every Macy's store, entertainment, and then even some food, which is terrific. So I definitely would call. If I wasn't involved in this, I would get involved in this for $5. And it's, for charity, and it's tax deductible. Can't beat that, and all the things you can get. You are responsible for the taxes on the oil painting. So just wanted to let you know about that. Now, it's not very much because the New Jersey state tax, I think it's about 8% now. So 8% of $1,000 is the value of the painting. So it's really very reasonable. 10% would be 100, so it's less than $100. So, to get an oil painting, and the value of an oil painting always appreciates. If you want to see some more of the jewelry that we made, so many beautiful things. Here's a locket. It's gorgeous. And so for $5, you're getting some of these great things. This was never worn. This is beautiful. Never redesigned. This was just like this. Rhinestone, beautiful hair clip. This I restored. I showed this the other day. Beautiful. Locket too. There's just so many nice pieces. And then I love all these. There's so many to choose from. See how pretty? If you can see that. Has a pearl. I like this with the shell. It's so pretty with the pearls. You can have this one with all of this with the pewter, and has a gemstone of green. There's just so many, just it's great. Like this with a little heart, the ruby garnet. And we have antique earrings. There's just so many things that we have here. For $5, you get one of those antiques. Shop for a cost for Macy's. Again, call us 973-736-1637 after the show has aired. 5 to 6 we air, so during Monday through Thursday. You can call us any other time. A miracle has happened. We just got our lawnmower back after over 3 weeks from repair. We paid it in full, less than a year, and unbelievable that it broke. And it takes over 3 weeks to repair something. It's insane. So our grass is just so high. I can't wait. My son's going to pick it up today. And he's so happy. We don't want our lawn looking like that. It's terrible. So I don't know where these places, they think they can just treat a customer like this. I won't buy anything there. That's the service I get. With the high grass. So we need to mow this lawn. And as soon as my son gets home, he's going to be mowing it. And they're not honeybees, so can't get somebody to remove. You just have to put a lot of water. That's what the beekeeper told me. And I really don't like to do that. But he said they're not honeybees, and they're not of value to any beekeeper, and they're not going to do anything to help me to remove them and keep them alive. And there's nothing else I can do. I really don't want to, but I have to mow the lawn, and then he'll have to water once that lawn is down. I even called our town, and they don't do anything. I just don't like harming anything. But in the case where, we have to do something so no one gets harmed, plus we would get fined. So, we must, take care of this like this. I hope everyone had a good Memorial Day that's in the United States. And, I hope that it was safe. Excuse me while I get the phone. It's a reality show. Got to answer the phone. Hello, Barbara speaking. Hello? It's Barbara, yes. I'm not interested. I'm right now doing a reality show, and I got to go. Bye now. So at any rate, it wasn't a. I was hoping it was somebody, that is watching our show, but no, it was something else. I get so many calls for companies change, from PSG to another company, and I don't want to change. I was just so happy yesterday. They came. They were supposed to come today, but they came early because they had a opening, and they put brand new burners by having my a warranty with them. That for anything, it's easy repair, and so I signed up for that. And great, much better. So I definitely don't want to change. And they came in prompt. They even called me for the appointment, which was very good. I didn't have to chase after them like I had for my lawnmower. Oh. Imagine when you're paying full and this less than a year old and it breaks. This is the top of the line. I don't know if I've got the bottom of the line. I got the top of the line and it's still breaking. Oh. And then it takes that long to fix. It's crazy. I don't know. Quality of making craftsmanship today, it's not what it was years ago. Well, it's starting to get snug. So I'm almost done. I can't. Making red, white, and blue bracelets. I have also beaded ones. If you didn't get an antique one, you can get two beaded bracelets. And I had some that were red and blue, red, white, and blue. Actually, I think I have one right here. There's supposed to two because it's got a gold band with it. And the other ones are just, they're not stretchy like this. They're just a banded bracelet with beads. That's really nice. 4th of July, I always like to wear my red, white, and blue jewelry. Oh, and speaking of red, white, blue, I found my dad's pin. He had put it aside, and I've located it for him. He passed away, and when he was alive, he said he didn't know where he placed it, and I just saw it was among some of his papers, and it is gorgeous. What a nice medal, and I'm so happy that I found this. It makes me happy looking at it. So it's red, white, and blue. Oh, so it cheers me to look at it. It makes me think of the good things when he was collecting for the veterans, and he wore that. And when he was honored, I was there at the event in our town. He was honored. Like, you can get honored. You know, he had honors too before he left the service, but this was an honoring from your town. So you can contact your town. Most towns would do it, a ceremony. And I hope they're still doing it, you know, in other towns. But they do a ceremony, and it's very nice. Military comes in, and they, you know, give you the medal, and they have a gun salute and everything. So I hope towns are still doing that. I know they did it for my father here in West Orange, and I hope other towns are doing that. So look into it. You know, if you haven't had a military service like that, it's very nice. You know, so if either you're, if it's a relative like your father and he's elderly, and you want to look into it for him, that'd be nice that you could, you know, arrange something like that. Give them a thrill. It means a lot. It meant a lot to my father when he went to that event. And he was honored because he ran the entire hospital in more than one country during World War II. And he was an X-ray technician too. And he even met President Eisenhower. And he was a general at the time. But it was just so wonderful that he had a chance to meet him in Europe. All right, so now you go on the back, and like I said, take a little bit of the thread and push the needle through, and then make 2 knots to end it. And take your scissor, and then it'll be easier to make a couple of knots. I would turn it inside out so you can get to it easier. Another person that he met that was famous was Lena Horne. Oh my gosh, that was his favorite singer and actress, and he got to meet her in Europe. Oh, and she was so wonderful. She bought my father and his buddy a drink. My father's not a drinker, but you know, one drink he'll have. And it was lovely that he was able to meet her, and she was so cordial, and that was just lovely. So on his leave, that, you know, he was able to meet her, and he always listened to her. Even recently, he still was listening. We showed him how he can listen on the computer. What a fantastic singer. Okay, so that's done. There we go with the brass antique. I like it. So we'll go on to the next one with the heart. And I have the blue cutter ready. This is the, I want the red, white, and blue. And I have to have my big needle. I'll thread it with the gray. I don't have, unless I have navy. No, don't have navy. So gray would be the closest. And good news, I have red for the red ornament. So that's good. Now I could show you how to do the chain stitch. I said how to do it, but you know, be showing you in case you don't know how to do it. And if you have material, I hope you're sewing along with me and making these. And don't forget, men can have them too. We can put cufflinks on, sew on like a military button, different things. And as long as you have like a black or brown or navy blue, that's fine for a man. So you can make this for your men too. Why not? Men should have nice bracelets and things too. Shouldn't just be the women. Now, if it was navy blue, my son loves blue. He'll wear a bracelet that's blue. His fraternity is Phi Beta Sigma, so that's their color. He loves navy blue. You know, my son bought online. It was a purifier for the water. It was only $30, and it's interesting that it works. It works better than some of the other ones that are in the store. Much more. And be careful because now I heard the water company they no longer put their purification on in our area in West Orange, New Jersey. So I guarantee it's everywhere like that. So to save money. So the thing is, you have to get your own purification system. Be very careful. You know, don't drink the water unless you have a purification system on. And how I found out, I had my dishwasher repaired, and the rack was just found out. the rack in my dishwasher was just getting worn away from how hard the water. It's a powder now. With the water, here that the water's that harsh that it could do that. And you can see by it's like white spots. That was from the water. The water was that hard. So now I don't see the white spots in my dishwasher. I got a natural dishwashing powder, and that's what you need to get. And I've said it before about the water softener. And then in addition, I mentioned before, I don't know if you watched this show, so I'm going to tell you it again. My son bought a big mason jar, and it has a spout. So it's fantastic. What we do with the mason jar, we put in some fruit, and put in the water that was purified. And it's delicious. It's like having a fruit juice. You have, different fruits that you like. We put lemons and limes. You can put, anything that you would like, strawberries, whatever. And so you have your water, and then you'll have a fruited water, and it's just like fruit juice. So that's a great thing to do. And it has that spout. So, both have a spout. This to pour has a spout, and then the mason jar. We don't have to take it out of the refrigerator. You can just pour it right from the refrigerator. Terrific. Very clever of my son to buy that. Because, with the weather now, some days get very, very hot, and we need to drink more water. Juice is good, but we can't constantly, this is a little bit more water than it is fruit juice, and we need to have that, whatever age you are. Okay, so what we're doing is we're putting it in, then putting it through the loop. So that's how I'm doing. And I'm just going to go back and tell you again. That's the chain stitch. Keep doing it like that. Put it through. Put it through. No. I'm going to do a second row to be sure that it doesn't unravel. And pull it as much as you can, not too hard, but pull it. I bought a tent to do my Shop for a Cause fundraising because now the sun is so bright, and it's just not good, to to get all this direct sunlight to be out there for hours. And then if it rains, you have shelter too. So they said 5 minutes to put up. But what the man didn't say was it takes 4 men to put this up. My son, God bless him, he was doing it with me holding it. And I don't know how he did it. He ran to each end so fast, got it up. And then he was exhausted after he put the whole thing up. And I said to him, you need to still put the ropes, on the bottom part and tie it onto the table, because I had a long table where I was doing, I was making these bracelets, and then also had all my stuff for Shop for a Cause. I have many baskets of this. I have like 40. And all of a sudden, the whole tent picked up. This should have been on the reality show. Oh my God. It's like a scene from The Wizard of Oz, and my tent is almost flying in the air there. So I just acted quickly. I took the rope. I used to be a Girl Scout, so I know how to tie ropes and knots. I learned that. So I remembered from as a little girl, and I tied it. And he says, when he came, he says, how did you do that? I says, well, I had no choice. It was going to fly away. So, it was still funny to believe. Oh, and I had a customer at the time, and she wanted to help me. And I go, oh, no. I says, no. And car almost ran her over right before that. I stopped. I said, look out. I said, there's a car backing up. And she was going to walk right past it. And I stopped her in time. I said, stop. So she did. And thank God. So I didn't want her, after getting all shook up, to help me. So I just did it myself. And it wasn't easy. And men were around there. They didn't even know how to do it. It was like, if I wasn't a Girl Scout, I would have learned how to tie knots. And I remembered. I don't know how I remembered all those years ago, but I remembered. And God bless the Girl Scouts, what they teach. And my late mother was the Girl Scout leader. I was a Brownie, then I was a Girl Scout. And, you learn these things, and it stays with you. My late mother's name was Ruth Hurwitz, and she was also a Cub Scout leader and a Boy Scout leader. She did it all, 4 groups, and then 2 religious organizations, which I also helped her with. So I helped her with all those things, all the groups she was with, and her religious groups. And I've been doing this all my life, making crafts and doing things, and I love it. But that was the funniest thing. I never saw anything like it. I was just thinking about how I was sitting there, because I was making bracelets then. It was hysterical. Wished I had it on YouTube, but I didn't. At the time, I just had to get the tent. I couldn't start taping. I would have loved to if I had my phone out in my hand, but I had to just get to it. I had my phone put away, so. I definitely would have had a million hits on YouTube. Hysterical. And the thing is that it had metal stands, so you would think it has a pods to put into the ground too. My tent, it's very good for what I paid for it. It was only, I think, $49, and very, very good tent. I didn't have any problems after I put the ropes, and we had high wind. And we are on a mountain, so, we have more high wind than most areas in West Orange. Never a dull moment in this house. And the things I do, never a dull moment. I have to cut it because it's almost to the end, and I'll rethread the thread again. But I'm so happy that I'm doing the Shop for a Cause. It makes me very happy to help the poor patients that have epilepsy, the kids, that they need a good life. And that's why I was giving the painting of a good life. I purposely selected that painting, that oil painting, to donate, because these kids that have epilepsy, they don't have a good life. They have to wear a helmet. Most of them, they can't play hardly at all. I had one little girl, she wanted to go to art school. She just couldn't keep up with the work, so she had to drop out. It's so sad, and she was so talented. I'd let her do a pace that she could do, but she still did not select to do that. And I wouldn't even charge her, but she's working part-time, and I guess that's all she can handle. But maybe one day she'll come back. I showed her some art when she was younger, when she lived near us. But then she moved, and so she used to come every day, and I used to show her art as a young girl. But then the family moved away. I sold her home, and they moved away, and I didn't get to see her. I didn't even know where she moved to. And just happened to coincidentally run into her when I was doing Shop for a Cause, and she bought a ticket. And I told her, I'm still in the same place, and you're always welcome. And I'd give you free lessons, but she hasn't come. But I saw her again, and I know she's well. It's just that it's, I guess, enough for her to work and part-time. But hopefully one day, maybe she'll change that. Maybe, things will get better, more discoveries with the funds that they're doing for research, hopefully. But she was so talented. School for the best artist. Late in life, any age you can learn art, any age at all. You could be in your 90s. Doesn't matter. You have a love for art, that's all that matters. And I've inspired and taught everyone art I've never had one person who said, gee, I can't learn. And, it's funny. I ran into a woman. I was doing the shop for a cause, and she says, oh, I can't do art. A teacher once told me in school, you better take music. You are terrible. Just drop out of my class. That's terrible to say to a student. I would never say that. There's always hope in teaching someone. I've taught people that were a teenager refusing to want to even take the lesson to begin with. His mom bought a ticket for Shop for a Cause, and he came in. He says, oh, I'm not taking this art lesson. I'm going home. And then I just asked him, what do you like to watch? And then when I knew what he liked to watch, I felt he'd like to draw that. And he said, Medea. So then I said, well, why don't you draw Medea? So he did. And it was so funny. He put Medea in a short mini skirt. We were all laughing our heads off. I've told this story once before. And, even a teenager that just refused, he didn't want the lesson. I've got and you just can't see a student, something like that. How can a teacher, if you're a teacher, you need to, don't be a teacher if you don't have that patience. You have to have patience. There's plenty of kids and adults that say, I can't do it, I can't do it. And believe it or not, those are the best students. I once had a man say, I can't write poetry. Can't do it. He wrote the best poem. Harry wrote a beautiful poem. I asked him what is his favorite hobby. So he said airplanes. So he wrote a poem about his hobby in airplanes, and it was fantastic. And then I taught him how to read. I said, when you have happy, something happy, definitely takes a person that has patience to teach someone. You can't instruct somebody in 2 minutes and expect them to do it and then just give up. That's not the way to be a teacher. So I have always had, like I said, 100% results. And anybody who tells you you can't learn, don't listen to that nonsense. And I was even willing to give her a free lesson just to show her that I can teach her. But she still didn't want one. And you can't force a person. I mean, only so much I can do. I have to, hopefully, when I see her again, I'll mention it again. But I'm not going to be, pushy. I had a woman who was in her 90s, and she said, gee, I can't do any art. And then she was the best one in the class who painted a beautiful picture of a rose in a vase, and it was just exquisite. And she was saying, I can't do it, I can't do it. But I didn't get forceful. I just kept going back to her and said, what do you like to look at? What's your favorite thing to do? And then she said, yeah, I like flowers. And then I said, well, why don't you try drawing the flower? Just flowers. And she did a line drawing of that. And then she used her own. If they don't have a will to do it, you have to just try to inspire. Most likely somebody told her she couldn't do art and she gave up. And that's very wrong to instruct a student like that. There were great artists, master artists, who didn't have confidence in their work. Van Gogh, he didn't believe his work was good. He cut off his ear. So, there's great master artists that don't have confidence. You need to encourage these people, not to, make them just give up by saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. You have to encourage and say, look, support the things that they're doing. And if some of the work isn't selling, well, then you say, well, do a little commercial work and then, do your other work too. And when people see that commercial work, then they're going to like your work and then they're going to look into your work too. I definitely, you can't put somebody down for what work they do when it's maybe more advanced beyond years. And, that happened with Van Gogh and also Monet. I remember reading about Monet too, that his work was, beyond what people were doing, because he had a light perception and with his work, and it was beyond other people. So you just can't give up. Can't let any teacher, any instructor tell you, oh, you can't do it. That's terrible. And I encourage you to do the work the way you want to do it, not the way just because my style, I don't want you to do my style unless you want to. I want you to do your style, develop and do the things you want to do in art. I'm only here to guide you. Forgive me for having the sniffles here, but I took my allergy medicine, but I'm still having difficulty with the spring weather. It's just allergies. It's not a cold. I didn't turn my air conditioner on, but I will, soon. I felt, it gets cool at night, and I really don't want to turn it on yet. I have the windows open and my fan's going. But I will be soon turning that on. And I put it through some threads and then I double knotted. Now I'll cut it off. And get that nice ornament on. And don't forget, we have to put it onto the front part, not the back part where we just sewed. Okay. And the way to do it, to center it, you fold where the seam is, the seam that we just did. We fold over, and then you can see where the center should be here. And I do want to thread this with, I need a thicker needle. I'll use this one, I guess, again. Not much thread on it anyway. The red heart, as I said before. And hopefully I can find the beginning of the thread. Right here. Won't come out, but it's right here. I finally got it. Okay. Double knot it. Oh boy, this just fell. I am putting this out of here. I double knotted it, but it fell out of here because it's such a big needle, but I want it big because that's a big ornament. And I have to, I'm going to knot it 4 times because it's so thick a needle. It just came right out. I'll knot it 4 times. I have to because that hole is so enormous. I wouldn't be able to sew if I had a thin little needle in that big hole. Now it won't fall out. All right. You see the size of this thing? That's why. Look at the hole. See how big? Okay. Now you have to see how you want it. I want it up to the top because it's the now maybe start from the back part and going in. And this one's go easy because this still, even with 4 threads, I wouldn't pull this too hard. I knotted it 4 times. But still go easy your first time putting it in. All right, now you would go back from the part where you sewed the seam and go through again. And pull it, but not too tight. It's hard to do, but you know, this will be a beautiful bracelet. Again, we're going to put it from the back side into the front side. And then we're going to start from the back side into the front. Do as close as you can to your stitches. Okay, put it through the center again. Keep pulling it until you can get it all the way through. Then bring it through the back. Okay, so it's getting snug. Almost there. Plus, we're running out of time. I want to pray a miraculous healing prayer for everyone out there, whoever needs it, or if you don't need it now, but for future reference. And God heals 100%. I just say a prayer. So I pray for everyone in the world. Everything should be well with peace, strength, health, and your finances. I just hope everyone has everything good in life. And I thank you for watching. And I'm almost done. Just want to bring it through a little more, and then I'll be knotting it soon. One more time, and that would be it. A little more. Yeah, that should be it. Just take a little bit of thread and then make it knot. Double knotted. Well, we'll be back tomorrow. We can finish adding the white to the bracelet. Oh, you know, I have some gemstones. I might want to put them instead of the linen. Or just spotting, I have white. So I think I'm going to use them. I would like that. The white gemstones with this wood. It could work. Well, why not? And I'm done. And then I'll put the two of crystal gemstones. That would look great. Like I said, use your imagination. We need to use our imagination how we make this bracelet. Whatever you see looks good. I just want to cut off the end pieces. Always tidy it so that you don't have strings showing. If there's any strings that are left, you want to just knot them and then cut them off. Okay, that will be it then. I'll just cut one more piece and I'm done. And then I'll put the gemstones tomorrow. That it's very nice. There you go. I got my bracelet for the 4th of July. And I'll put my gemstones with it. These I'll put. And that looks really nice. I'll put one on each side. Take care. Bye now.